Before we begin this night prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your support helps us continue creating these moments of peace and comfort. Lord, I'm here at the end of this day, with everything I've carried and everything I couldn't carry, with words I said and words I swallowed, with moments I was proud of and moments I wish I could redo, and I offer it all to you, as honestly as I know how. Not polished, not perfect, not rehearsed, just the real weight of a human day in human hands, now set down in your gentle ones. I breathe out the pressure to be impressive and breathe in the permission to be small, safe, and seen. Because you are not asking me to perform, you are inviting me to rest. So I let the noise of my thoughts begin to dim like a house, where lights go out, room by room, until only the quiet lamp of your presence remains, steady and kind, and I say simply, I am here and I am yours. I don't have to figure out the whole of tomorrow in one hard stare at the ceiling. I don't have to answer every what if. I don't have to plan every contingency for a future that belongs to you. I only have to lean, and so I lean. I let my head lay down, not only on a pillow, but on a promise that I am not alone, that even when I feel surrounded by questions, I am more surrounded by grace. But even when the day felt like a tangle of half-finished efforts, you were threading through it a quiet mercy that did not miss a single breath I took. If I am honest, some moments today frightened me. A message I delayed, a decision that still feels foggy, a sorrow that woke up without asking my permission. So I named them before you without dramatics and without denial. And as I name them, I feel them loosen, as if the act of speaking their shape allows them to be held by someone bigger than their edges, someone who isn't confused by my confusion, someone who isn't impatient with my pace. Teach me to rest in that, to unlearn the reflex that says, try harder, when you are whispering, come closer, to release the guilt that clings to me in thin, stubborn layers, to forgive the version of me that flinches and hesitates, and sometimes reaches for old habits when I'm tired. Draw me back into the simple relief of your nearness, into the ordinary miracle that the air I breathe is a gift, and the ground I stand on is not shaking even when my mind is, into the truth that your care is not theoretical or distant, but present, particular, and precise. You saw the small victory that no one applauded, the kindness I almost didn't give but did, the apology I wanted and didn't get, the patience I ran out of, and the patience you kept giving me anyway. Tonight, I hand you the unfinished lists, the tabs still open in my brain, the tasks that wore the hours thin, the people I love and can't control, the outcomes that refuse to obey my timelines, and I set them on the bedside table of your faithfulness. Anything I tried to carry alone, I slide across to you now with a quiet surrender. My worry about health, my worry about money, my worry about what others think, my worry about whether I am behind, because worry is a poor manager of a soul. But you are a gentle shepherd, and where worry pushes, you guide. If I have been harsh with myself, if I measured my worth by production and not by the pulse you gave me, forgive me, soften me toward my own heart. Let me speak to myself the way you speak to me, with clear truth and warm compassion. If I have held a grudge, if resentment found a chair at my table, nudge me toward the freedom of releasing it, not because the hurt was small, but because your love is larger. Not because justice doesn't matter, but because vengeance is too heavy for human arms and too corrosive for human sleep. My future does not need me to huddle over old injuries tonight. It needs me to rest so I can rise whole. And if I am afraid of the dark, then teach me to see what the dark also holds. The rest that repairs, the silence that heals, the veil where prayer becomes breath and breath becomes prayer, the slow alignment of mind and heart to the steady rhythm of your goodness. Lay a hand over my racing thoughts, not to scold them into stillness, but to soothe them into trust. You know how tired they are of running in circles, lace peace through them, the way one might thread a ribbon through a tangled wreath, not tearing, not forcing, just finding the openings and guiding them home. May I learn tonight that surrender is not failure, but wisdom, that letting go is not giving up, but giving in to the love that is stronger than any outcome. I feared whatever I tried to control that is not mine to command, I place it now into your keeping. Timelines, decisions, relationships, reputation, doors that are closed, and doors that threaten to open all at once. Teach me to stand in the hallway with you and not panic, to accept that a no is protection, and a wait is preparation, and a yes is a stewardship, and all belong to you before they belong to me. If there is a childlike ache inside me, the part that wants to be told you did enough today and you are safe now, speak to that room in my heart with a father's tone and a mother's tenderness, and let those words take root deeper than the loud opinions I met out there. If I am grieving something I didn't even name out loud, sit with me in that quiet room and do not rush me out of it, but also do not let me build a permanent address where I was only meant to pass through. Give me a wise sadness that honors what matters, and a gentle joy that remembers I am headed somewhere bright. And for the people I love, I ask the same covering I seek for myself. Watch over their sleep, relieve their fears, return their strength, give them clarity where they are stuck, companions where they are lonely, courage where they have to speak a hard truth, and humility where they need to listen. Knit families whose threads are fraying, soften hearts that have stiffened under the weather of long disappointments. Teach us to be tender with each other even when we are tired. For anyone who hurt me today, bless them with light I cannot give, and healing I cannot deliver, and bless me with boundaries that are kind to my soul. I don't want to carry tomorrow's arguments into tonight's rest, so I let them go. Not because they don't matter, but because I matter too. And a rested heart is a wiser one. As for the dreams that feel too large for my small strength, I lay them at your feet without the theater of false humility. You already know how much I want them, and I ask for the right doors, the right pace, the right reasons, the right help, and the right alignment inside me, so that the thing I pursue doesn't become the thing that consumes me. Make me the kind of person who can hold answered prayers without forgetting the one who answered, who can carry influence without carrying arrogance, who can receive provision without hoarding peace. Melt any bitterness that today tried to calcify in me. Thank you for every small kindness that visited someone's smile, an email that landed softer than expected, a patch of sunlight on the floor, the ordinary modest miracle that I had food to eat and a bed to sleep in. Thank you for the frustrations, too, because they trained muscles I didn't know I'd need. Thank you for interrupting me where I needed interrupting, and letting me pass where I needed to learn for myself. Thank you for being patient with the looped prayers I whispered under my breath, and for answering some of them in a way that looked like silence, but was actually scheduling. Lord, I ask for the deep rest that does not depend on perfect circumstances, the rest that seeps into mind and body and spirit, the kind that recalibrates my reactions and re-anchors my attention in the present moment you are already in. Let my room become a small sanctuary, not because the space is special, but because your presence sanctifies ordinary space. Let the air feel lighter and the bed feel kinder and the night feel less like a problem to survive and more like a gift to receive. Quiet the creaks of the house and the pings of the phone, and even the echoes of old conversations. And if something must remain unresolved, let it remain in your care, not in my clenched jaw. Remind me that you sit with me in the middle of every in-between, and that my worth did not rise with my productivity, nor fall with my fatigue. If I wake in the night, meet me there without reproach and help me return to rest, as one returns to a familiar porch with a friend already waiting. Teach my breath to pray when my words run out, in with trust, out with fear, in with gratitude, out with shame, in with hope, out with hurry. let the rhythm of breathing become the rhythm of believing. If I need to cry, let those tears be a washing, not a drowning. If I need to laugh, let that laughter be a window opening somewhere in me to let the spirit-centered breeze move through. If I feel numb, sit there with me too until feeling returns, because you do not abandon me to either storm or drought. For tomorrow I ask not for a map with every turn labeled, but for a lantern with enough light for the next faithful step. Give me wisdom that is calm, courage that is quiet, words that are true and timely, the humility to admit when I don't know, the resilience to try again, and the joy to notice goodness even on an ordinary Tuesday. I do not ask to be spared all difficulty, only to be spared the illusion that I am ever alone in it. Make my work an offering rather than a frantic audition. Make my conversations places of dignity rather than arenas of performance. Make my choices small obediences that add up to a life shaped like love. And so, into your arms, I hand this day with all its edges and the night with all its unknowns. Cover my home with peace like a soft, steady rain. Guard the doors, bless the neighbors, heal the sick, steady the anxious, comfort the grieving. Surprise the cynical, and pull each of us a little nearer to the center where your kindness is warmest. For the one listening who feels unworthy to pray, whisper to them that their worth is not up for debate. For the one listening who fears a diagnosis, be the calm in their bones and the clarity in their steps. For the one whose finances are thin, provide what is needed and protect them from the lie that scarcity is their identity. For the one whose relationship is aching, bring truth without humiliation, tenderness without enabling, wisdom without coldness, and where reconciliation is possible, let it bloom. For the one holding a secret, meet them with gentle light, so shame loses its power. For the one who cannot forgive themselves, show them how mercy moves toward them, even now. As I lie down, I let go of the day's posture of bracing and adopt the posture of trust. My shoulders lower, my jaw softens, my hands loosen their grip, my mind unclenches, and my heart remembers that I am held. Keep me through the watches of the night, and let me rise with a soul that didn't sprint ahead of my body, with eyes that look for beauty before problems, with a voice that blesses more than it complains. Thank you for hearing me without hurrying me, for staying even when I have nothing eloquent left to say, for being God enough to run the universe and gentle enough to sit at the edge of this bed. I release what is not mine to manage, receive what is mine to steward, and rest in what is yours to redeem. And if this prayer has touched a place I didn't know how to name, I say Amen with my whole self and trust that you will continue the conversation in the quiet where words are not needed. Bless every person who joins this prayer tonight. Let their rooms be filled with a hush that heals. Let their sleep be truly restorative. Let their dreams be free from the old narratives that keep them small, and let them wake to remember not only what they have to do, but also who they are becoming. Lord, the quiet stretches on as another part of the night unfolds, and I find myself still needing to rest deeper into your presence. There is something about the hours when the world slows that invites me to be more honest than I manage during the day. The distractions are fewer, the masks slip, and my soul feels laid bare before you. In this space, I don't want to hide the parts of me that ache or the thoughts I've avoided. I offer them to you, not because I think you need my explanations, but because I need the freedom not carrying them alone. Tonight I admit the places I've doubted, the corners of my mind where fear still lingers, the worries I tried to bury under busyness, but that rise again when the lights dim. I hand them over, Lord, not as polished prayers, but as raw pieces of my heart. I know you receive them with compassion and not condemnation, and that makes it easier to open every locked door in my soul. You are the one who does not recoil from my weakness. You do not scold me for being human. You don't measure me by how steady I appear to others, but by how honestly I let you hold me. That realization brings such relief. So many times today, I tried to be composed, tried to be capable, tried to be everything for everyone. But here in this night, I don't need to be impressive. I just need to be real. And the real me is tired. The real me is uncertain in some places. The real me longs for assurance that I will be okay, that tomorrow won't crush me with more than I can handle. And in that longing, I turn toward you, Lord, and I whisper, I trust you, even when I can't see. Father, let your peace wash over me like a tide that never fails to return. Let it reach every anxious thought, every weary muscle, every restless dream. If there are knots in my spirit tied by regret or disappointment, loosen them gently tonight. If there are lies I've believed about who I am, rewrite them with truth. Tell me again that I am not forgotten, that I am not failing, that I am not defined by the moments that went wrong. Tell me again that I am yours, and that nothing, not my mistakes, not my fears, not the opinions of others, can take me out of your hand. I pray not only for myself, but for every soul joining this prayer tonight. For the one lying awake with a heavy heart, Lord, let your presence feel like a blanket of warmth wrapping around them. For the one afraid of what tomorrow may bring, whisper into their spirit that you have already gone ahead and prepared the way. For the one grieving quietly, whose tears no one else sees, hold them close and remind them that their sorrow is not overlooked in heaven. For the ones struggling to forgive themselves, pour mercy into the places they keep locked away. And for the one who feels utterly alone, surround them with such a strong sense of your nearness that they cannot doubt that you are with them. Lord, I ask that you guard our minds as we sleep, chase away nightmares, and replace them with dreams of hope and renewal. Protect our bodies as we rest. Let healing flow through us, repairing what stress and worry have worn down. Keep watch over our homes, our families, and our loved ones. Let no harm come near, but let peace reign in every room. And if any of us wake in the middle of the night, let it not be in fear, but as an invitation to breathe with you in the stillness, to rest again knowing we are safe in your care. Thank you for being the God who never slumbers. While I rest, you remain alert, watching, guiding, protecting. That truth lets me release control. I don't have to guard the world overnight. You already do. I don't have to solve every problem before sunrise. You are already at work in ways I can't yet see. What a gift, Lord, to know that my absence from the tasks of life tonight does not mean the world spins unattended. You are holding all things together, and that includes me. So I surrender again, deeper this time, choosing not just to say, I trust you, but to live that trust by closing my eyes without rehearsing every fear. I surrender by letting sleep come as a friend, not as an enemy. I surrender by believing that I will wake with new mercies, waiting like morning light on the horizon. Cover me, Lord, until that light breaks, and keep me wrapped in your love. Lord, I return to you again, because prayer is not a one-time action, but a steady rhythm that keeps my heart in step with yours. Every breath tonight can be a prayer, every exhale a surrender, every inhale a reminder that your spirit sustains me. I do not want to move quickly past this moment, because in the deep hours of night there is wisdom that cannot be heard in the noise of daylight. Here in the quiet, I can remember what truly matters. I can sift through the clutter of my mind and recognize that so much of what I carried today does not need to follow me into tomorrow. You, Lord, are teaching me to travel lighter, to put down burdens that were never mine to lift. Sometimes I realize how much of my exhaustion comes not from what I actually did, but from what I feared, from rehearsing conversations in my head, from worrying about people I cannot control, from predicting outcomes that never came. That inner labor drains more than the outer work. So tonight, I place not only my body in rest, but also my imagination, my memories, my hopes, and my fears. Let them all lie down before you. Where I have been stuck in replaying what went wrong, press pause and whisper that the past is covered by grace. Where I've been rushing ahead into futures that don't exist yet, draw me back into the present moment where your presence is enough. Father, you are not waiting for me to impress you with perfect words. You are looking for honesty, so here it is. I am tired of pretending I can carry everything. I am tired of measuring myself by impossible standards. I am tired of hiding my weakness, and yet, in admitting this, I feel a strange relief, because your strength is made perfect in my weakness, not in my performance. I don't have to act unbreakable when I pray. I only need to be real, because you are already my shield, and when I let go of the illusion of control, that is when I actually find peace. Tonight, I want to lift up not just my own story, but the stories of others who are awake with me in this prayer. For the student worried about exams, bring calm clarity. For the parent worried about a child, surround them with reassurance. For the worker afraid of losing their job, remind them that provision does not begin and end with a paycheck, but with your hand. For the one who received bad news from the doctor, let them feel the comfort of knowing that you hold both their diagnosis and their destiny. For the soul who feels forgotten, let this prayer be proof that they are remembered. And Lord, I pray for the hidden wounds, the ones no one else knows. The smile on the outside hides a storm within. The laughter in public masks the tears in private. But you see it all. You see the silent battles, the invisible scars, the quiet prayers whispered into pillows, and you do not turn away. You lean closer. You hold tighter. Remind us all that there is no pain too secret for your healing, no fear too small for your notice, no sin too deep for your forgiveness. As I prepare to sink deeper into rest, I ask for dreams that heal instead of harm. Let them be filled with glimpses of hope, with reminders of beauty, with gentle visions that renew my spirit, protect my sleep from every disturbance. Both physical and spiritual, place angels on guard at every door and window. Let my room be filled with peace, so tangible that I cannot help but relax. Let my breathing slow, my heart steady, and my mind unclench as I lay everything at your feet. Thank you for the gift of another night to draw near. Thank you that even when today was messy, you still meet me with mercy. Thank you that tomorrow is not my enemy, but another chance to walk with you. I do not need to know every detail of what lies ahead. It is enough to know that you will be there. So I release control once again. I release fear. I release regret. I release the constant pressure to be more than human. And I fall asleep in the only safe place there is, your arms. Lord, I continue in this prayer because my soul needs layer after layer of your presence. Sometimes it takes more than a few words for my spirit to unclench, for my fears to quiet, for my body to truly let go. Tonight, I ask you to walk with me a little longer into rest. I don't want to rush away from this stillness, because here in the night I feel how fragile I am, and yet how safe I am in you. The day has left its marks, small irritations, lingering anxieties, regrets I try not to replay, but I refuse to carry them into tomorrow. I hand them over one by one. Every unkind word I heard, I release. Every mistake I made, I surrender. Every opportunity I missed, I entrust to your mercy. Teach me, Lord, to see the difference between what is mine to carry and what belongs to you. How often I confuse them. I grasp at outcomes. I cling to approval. I chase certainty. But tonight, I remember that my role is faithfulness, not control. My calling is trust, not worry. My work is to abide, not to strive for perfection. And so I breathe easier, knowing that what is too heavy for me is light for you. I picture myself laying down heavy bags at the door of your throne, walking inside unburdened, free, and welcomed. That picture alone eases my chest. I pray for everyone sharing this prayer right now, scattered in different places, but united in the same need for rest. Some are lying in beds, far from family, feeling the sharp ache of loneliness. Others are surrounded by people and yet feel unseen in their own homes. Some are lying awake with financial stress, others with heartache, others with shame. Lord, let this prayer be a bridge for them into your comfort. Whisper to each heart in the way only you can, personal, specific, tender. Remind them they are known. Remind them they are loved. Remind them that their story is not finished. Tonight, I especially lift up the weary. Those who pushed through today with more questions than answers. Those who carried silent battles at work or at home. Those who gave more than they received. Father, let them feel the relief of your presence now. Let them sense the holy permission to rest. For the one who wonders if they did enough, assure them that their value is not measured by productivity, but by the love that called them into being. For the one who feels guilty for resting, remind them that even you rested on the seventh day, and rest is not laziness, it is worship, it is trust, it is aligning with the rhythm of creation. Guard our minds tonight, Lord. Shield us from spirals of worry, from intrusive thoughts, from fears of what-ifs. If we wake in the darkness, let it not be panic that greets us, but your gentle voice saying, I am here. If our bodies ache, soothe us. If our hearts grieve, comfort us. If our spirits feel numb, sit with us patiently until hope stirs again. You are not a hurried God. You move with steady compassion. Thank you for the gifts hidden even in this day, for the smiles I didn't expect, for the moments of laughter that broke through, for the breath in my lungs, for the bed beneath me, for the food that strengthened me. Thank you for the unseen protections, for accidents avoided, for temptations resisted, for discouragements that did not defeat me. Thank you that even when I doubted, you stayed. Even when I rushed, you waited. Even when I stumbled, you steadied me. And now, Lord, I ask for deep restoration, not just surface-level rest, but soul rest. Let every cell in my body recalibrate. Let every thought in my mind realign. Let every ache in my heart be eased. Let this sleep be holy. May it prepare me for tomorrow, not only with energy, but with renewed hope, with softened patience, with courage to face whatever comes. So I close this part of prayer with gratitude. Gratitude that you are nearer than my breath, stronger than my fear, kinder than my doubts imagined. Gratitude that I can release the night into your keeping. Gratitude that as I whisper, Amen, it does not mean goodbye, but a gentle pause in a conversation that never truly ends, because you will be with me through the night until the morning light. Lord, I come again into the hush of this hour and set down even more than I managed before. Stray worries that keep circling, tiny embarrassments that still sting, heavy questions that refuse to resolve, placing each one into your open hands, the way a child empties pockets of small stones before climbing into a parent's arms. I choose the kinder way of being with myself tonight, the way that does not demand a perfect ending to an imperfect day, and I invite your mercy to stand like a lantern at the threshold of my thoughts, so everything that tries to enter the rooms of my mind must pass through light, quiet, the tribunal inside me, the judge, the critic, the prosecutor, rehearsing old evidence. Let that court adjourn until further notice, and in its place, establish a sanctuary where grace tells the truer story, that I am seen, that I am carried, that I am allowed to rest before I am finished. I release outcomes. I cannot engineer opinions. I cannot edit timelines. I cannot accelerate, and I let my soul adopt the slower rhythm of trust. Teach me to notice how peace arrives, sometimes not as a sudden silence, but as a soft listening, a loosening at the jaw, a longer exhale, a gentler pace in the heart. Teach me to travel lighter through this night, to set down resentment the way one unshoulders a pack, to set down perfectionism the way one steps out of a too tight coat, to set down fear the way one opens a clenched hand and discovers it still works where I have been bracing. Help me unclench where I have been hurrying through conversations with you. Help me linger where I have been solving instead of surrendering. Help me remember that love, not control, is the atmosphere in which I heal. Bless the small, ordinary details of this moment, the hum of the room, the weight of the blanket, the steady mercy of breath, and let them become little sacraments, reminders that heaven knows how to touch earth in the simplest ways. And if my heart keeps reaching for proof, remind me that you have been faithful in 1,000 quiet ways today, in protections I didn't, in patience I did not earn, in the strength that held when I thought I had none left. I give thanks for the apology I offered, even if it was not returned, for the boundary I kept even if it was misunderstood, for the kindness I gave even if it went unnoticed. And I ask you to grow good fruit from these hidden seeds while I sleep. I lift to you now the many lives gathered around this prayer, for the caregiver whose body is tired and whose kindness feels frayed at the edges. Give replenishing rest and a tenderness toward their own limits. For the student whose mind hums with unfinished chapters and dates circled on calendars, give clarity without panic and the grace to learn at a human pace. For the parent replaying the day and wishing certain words could be retrieved, let forgiveness move swiftly through that home tonight, and let laughter return in the morning. For the one waiting on medical results, place a calm in their bones and a steadying hand over their thoughts. For those navigating bills with too many numbers and not enough answers, provide surprising help, wise counsel, and protection from the shame that tries to attach itself to scarcity. For the one far from home, make the room itself feel companioned, as though the walls hold a quiet blessing. For the one living with chronic pain, grant pockets of ease and the dignity of being believed. For the one whose anxiety spikes when the lights go out, post peace like a sentry at the door and give them a way back. One sentence of truth, one slow breath, one remembered kindness whenever fear tries to take the steering wheel. For those in strained relationships, let truth arrive without humiliation, boundaries without bitterness, tenderness without enabling, and where reconciliation is possible, let it bloom. For those who need to grieve but keep delaying it, grant them the courage to feel what must be felt and the comfort of not having to feel it alone. And for every person who worries they are too behind, too broken, or too late, tell them again, firmly and kindly, that your timing is not a punishment and your patience is not a trap. I ask too for the places none of us mention out loud, the secret habits we want to lay down, the loops of shame that make us smaller than love, the self-sabotage that dresses like protection. Meet us there with the medicine of truth, spoken in a voice that does not bruise. Teach us the gentle art of starting again tomorrow without the theater of self-loathing. Now, as sleep approaches, lead me in a quiet prayer of the body. Soften the forehead that tried to solve. Release the tongue that held too many words. Lower the shoulders that climb toward the ears. Open the hands that grip the day too tightly. Lengthen the breath. Slower out until trust becomes the cadence of the room. Gather the frayed threads of my attention and tie them to the single strong cord of your presence. Place your peace like a warm weight over the places that ache and draw a circle of safety around this house. Angels at the corners, mercy at the threshold, wisdom at the windows, kindness in the hallway. Let my dreams be scrubbed of old scripts and seeded with scenes of hope, simple and bright. And over tomorrow I do not ask for spectacle, only for steadiness, a lantern at my feet, a yes where it belongs, and no where it protects, the humility to be taught, the courage to be kind, and the joy to notice beauty before problems. Into your arms again, and again, and again. Lord, the night deepens, and still my spirit leans into you. There is something about these hours that makes honesty easier, vulnerability more natural, surrender more possible. The world outside grows still, but inside me, I still feel echoes of tasks unfinished, of words spoken too sharply, of fears that came uninvited. I do not want to drag those echoes into tomorrow. I place them here, into your hands, the only hands wide enough to hold both my failures and my hopes. Let tonight be the dividing line where regret stays behind and mercy leads me forward. Sometimes, Lord, I forget that you are not only God of the sunrise, but also of the midnight. You do not leave me in the dark. You dwell here with me. You are as present in the silence of a sleepless hour as in the brightness of morning praise. Teach me to see the dark differently, not as a threat, but as a canvas on which your peace paints its quiet colors. When shadows move across the walls, remind me that even shadows exist, because light is still near. When silence feels heavy, remind me it is also sacred, a space where your voice can be clearer than all the noise of the day. Father, I think of the ones who cannot rest tonight, those in hospital rooms, those traveling far from home, those lying awake in worry, those grieving losses too fresh to name. Cover them with the same comfort I ask for myself. Let them feel you in their breathing, in the stillness, in the fragile hope that tomorrow will not be as heavy as today. And if they feel forgotten, let them know they are remembered in this prayer. I lift to you the children who rest tonight, asking that innocence be protected and hope preserved. I lift to you the elderly, praying that their nights be filled with dignity and gentleness. I lift to you the caregivers, whose strength feels spent, that you would renew them in the quiet hours. And I lift to you those carrying secrets too heavy for human shoulders. Lord, let them know there is no burden that cannot be shared with you. Tonight I do not ask for answers to every question. I only ask for your nearness, because in your nearness, fear loses its grip. In your nearness, shame dissolves. In your nearness, even silence feels safe. Wrap this room in that nearness. Let my bed feel like an altar where surrender becomes worship. Let my heartbeat fall into rhythm with your kindness. Let every breath I take be prayer without words. Thank you, Lord, for being the God who does not grow tired of me repeating the same fears. Thank you for being patient as I learn trust slowly. Thank you for giving me rest, not because I earned it, but because you are good. Thank you that tomorrow already waits with new mercies prepared, and thank you that even now, as I close my eyes, I am held more securely than I will ever understand. So I rest, Lord, not in my strength, not in my achievements, not in my plans, but in you, into your arms, again and again, until morning comes. Lord, I open this portion of prayer with the same longing as before, to let go a little more deeply, to surrender more fully, to trust more freely. Each time I breathe out in your presence, something heavy leaves me. Each time I breathe in, something holy enters. This is how I want to spend these hours, not fighting for control, but folding myself into your care. The day may be over, but its weight still lingers on my shoulders. Thoughts replay, worries return, emotions rise when the world grows quiet. Yet even as I notice them, I also notice you, the steady friend, the gentle father, the faithful presence who does not abandon me when my soul is restless. Tonight, I give you the things I cannot fix. Broken relationships I have no power to mend on my own. Mistakes I cannot erase. Conversations that ended in misunderstanding, Lord, take them. Where I failed, cover me with grace. Where I hurt others, teach me humility to make it right. Where I was wounded, remind me that healing is not impossible. Let none of these things poison my rest. Instead, let forgiveness begin its work tonight, both in me and through me. I ask for peace over my mind, Lord. The kind of peace that silences accusing voices and stills racing thoughts, not the shallow peace of distraction, but the deep peace of knowing I am held. When the enemy whispers that I am not enough, remind me of the cross where love declared me worthy. When fear tells me tomorrow will overwhelm me, remind me that you already stand in my tomorrow with strength prepared. When shame tries to replay my failures, remind me that you have written forgiveness across my story. Father, I bring before you those who are part of this prayer community, each carrying unique burdens. For the one battling anxiety so strong they fear sleep itself, let this prayer wrap around them like a blanket. For the one grieving a loved one, let comfort flow like quiet streams, softening the ache without rushing it away. For the parent worried about their children, remind them that you love those children even more deeply than they do. For the lonely soul lying in silence, let them feel a presence so real they cannot doubt it. And for the one who feels too far gone for hope, surprise them tonight with a peace that breaks through despair. Lord, give us the gift of release. Release from regret, release from perfectionism, release from the pressure to hold it all together. You never asked us to carry the world on our backs. You only asked us to come to you and rest. So here I am, Lord. I come. I lay down everything. I whisper the name of Jesus, and I feel the ground beneath me steady. I whisper again, and I feel my chest loosen. There is power in your name, not just for grand miracles, but for small mercies. The mercy of sleep, the mercy of calm, the mercy of waking tomorrow with hope. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for not tiring of me. Thank you for holding what I cannot hold. Thank you for being faithful when I am weak. Thank you for staying close when others drift away. Tonight I fall asleep, not in fear of what might come, but in faith of what you are already doing. Into your arms I surrender again, knowing that even in sleep I am safe. Lord, once again I draw near, because the more I pour out, the more space there is for you to fill. I do not want to rush through this night as if rest were only a pause between tasks. I want to dwell in this prayer, to linger here as long as needed, until my heart feels unclenched and my soul remembers its home in you. The day left fingerprints on me, some gentle, some rough, and I need you to wash me clean before morning. Wash my mind of harsh words, of regrets I can't undo, of the way I measured myself against others. Wash my heart of bitterness that tries to cling, of envy that steals joy, of disappointment that whispers lies. Wash my body of tension, of restlessness, of exhaustion that seeps deeper than muscle and bone. Let me lie down lighter than I stood up, because you are the one who receives all burden. Father, you are the keeper of time, and yet you step into my ordinary hours. You are not distant from the details of my life. You saw every sigh I breathed today. You counted every tear. You noticed every quiet act of kindness that nobody else praised. You recorded every struggle, even the ones I thought went unseen. And you loved me through all of it. Tonight, I rest in that love. A love that doesn't depend on my performance. A love that doesn't waver with my moods. A love that covers me like the night sky covers the earth, completely, without gaps, with stars shining as reminders that even in darkness, light is never lost. I ask you now, Lord, to calm the storms inside me. For every anxious thought that threatens to spiral, place your hand upon it and quiet it. For every restless memory that replays, cover it with mercy. For every unknown waiting tomorrow, speak courage into my spirit. Remind me that no matter what I face it with you. And if tomorrow holds joy, you will rejoice with me. If tomorrow holds trial, you will sustain me. If tomorrow holds both, you will guide me through each moment. I bring to you also the silent prayers of others who join me tonight. For the one who feels unseen, let them know they are fully known. For the one who feels unloved, wrap them in an embrace stronger than loneliness. For the one who feels hopeless, light even the smallest spark to remind them that despair is not the end. For the one who feels broken beyond repair, show them that nothing is too shattered for your hands. Meet each heart exactly where it is, with tenderness tailored to its pain. Lord, I ask you to guard our homes tonight. Place angels around our doors. Let peace fill every room. Let rest flow through every corner. Protect our loved ones as they sleep. Protect those far away whom we cannot reach. Protect even those who never pray, for your mercy stretches wider than our words. Let your presence be like a shield, unseen but unshakable, strong enough to silence fear. Thank you for listening to me again and again. Thank you for letting me return, not as a guest, but as a child who belongs. Thank you for your patience with my repeated requests, for your gentleness with my fragile faith, for your constancy when everything else shifts. As I end this part of prayer, I do so with gratitude. Gratitude for rest that waits for me. Gratitude for grace that never runs out. Gratitude for a God who does not sleep so that I can. And now, Lord, I surrender once more. Into your arms I place this night, this life, this soul. Hold me until morning. Keep me in your peace. Renew me with your love. Lord, here I am again, letting my soul sink deeper into the river of your presence. Each prayer feels like another stone placed into steady hands, another release of what I was never meant to keep. Tonight I give you not only my obvious fears, but the subtle ones too. The quiet insecurities, the hidden comparisons, the nagging sense of not being enough. I lay them all down. For too long, I've carried them as if they were truths, when they were only lies wearing heavy masks. But you remind me that my identity is not built on achievement, failure, or opinion. It is built on love, a love that existed before I took my first breath, a love that will remain when my last breath fades, a love that cannot be undone. And if love is my foundation, then I am safe, no matter how unsteady my emotions may feel tonight. Father, I think of the way you watched over me today in countless unseen ways. You protected me from dangers I didn't notice. You provided in ways I didn't pause to thank you for. You gave me moments of laughter, of kindness, of simple mercies, even when I rushed past them. Forgive me for the times I overlooked your hand. Forgive me for moving too quickly to notice the grace woven into ordinary hours. Slow me down tonight. Slow me until I can see clearly again that you were with me all along. I pray not only for myself, but for all who listen with me. Lord, let each heart resting in these words feel less alone. Let them sense that they are part of a circle of prayer, joined across miles by the same need and the same faith. Some are crying quietly, some are restless, some are numb. Meet them in their exact state. Speak softly to the places that ache, heal the wounds they don't know how to explain. Wrap them in assurance that they are held tonight. For the one anxious about finances, provide in ways that remind them they are not forgotten. For the one struggling with health, let peace guard their body and strength rise with the morning. For the one grieving, give comfort that is deeper than words. For the one doubting their worth, whisper truth until lies lose their grip. And for the one who feels like their prayers don't matter, show them in this very moment that heaven hears. Lord, I ask for peace over my sleep. Let it be deep, unbroken, and healing. May my dreams not trouble me, but remind me of hope. May my mind not wander in fear, but rest in faith. Guard me from the thief of worry that tries to steal rest. Protect me from the weight of guilt that tries to invade the quiet. Let my heart be still, because you are God and I am safe. Thank you that your faithfulness does not depend on my feelings. Even if my prayers are clumsy, you receive them. Even if my faith feels small, you honor it. Even if my strength is gone, you remain strong. Tonight I take comfort in knowing I don't have to hold it all together. You are already holding me. So now, Lord, I release this day, this night, this heart, and this life into your arms once more. Keep me in your care. Cover me in your love. Let me wake with fresh mercy and quiet strength. Lord, I lean into you once more, because every layer of this night uncovers something new within me that needs your touch. It is not always the loud storms that disturb me. Sometimes it is the small, subtle thoughts, the half-finished worries, the faint memories of mistakes, the quiet suspicion that maybe I'm behind. Tonight, I gather all those fragments and place them in your hands. You are not impatient with my repetitions. You are not weary of my constant returning. You receive me again and again, and that constancy steadies me. Teach me, Father, to stop measuring my worth by how perfectly I perform and to start resting in how completely you love me. Let the striving drain from my bones tonight. Let the racing thoughts lose their power. Let my breath become slow and prayerful, a rhythm of release and trust. I ask you to help me remember that I am not a problem to be solved, but a person to be loved, and I am already loved without condition. I lift before you those who are praying alongside me in this moment. For the one whose heart aches with loneliness, wrap them in your nearness so deeply that solitude turns into sanctuary. For the one carrying guilt over harsh words spoken today, whisper forgiveness into their spirit and show them that tomorrow is a chance to speak life. For the one burdened with financial strain, surprise them with provision and protect them from despair. For the one fearing illness or waiting for results, replace panic with peace that passes understanding. For the one overwhelmed by family conflict, soften hardened hearts and bring moments of unexpected tenderness. Lord, I pray for children who rest tonight. Shield their dreams, preserve their innocence, and surround them with unseen angels. I pray for the elderly, that their rest would be gentle, their nights free of fear, and their hearts comforted by memories of your faithfulness through the year. I pray for caregivers, for teachers, for workers, for leaders, each one drained in their own way. Let renewal flow through them as they sleep. I also pray for those who cannot sleep because of grief. For the one whose bed feels emptier than it should, hold them so tenderly that the sharp edge of sorrow soften. For the one whose life has shifted in ways they didn't choose, remind them that even uninvited change is not beyond your power to redeem. For the one whose tears fall even now, let each tear be collected by you as a testimony that their pain matters. Lord, quiet the house of my mind. Let every anxious door be closed, every restless hallway silenced, every hidden corner filled with light. Cover my home with your peace. Let walls, windows, and doors be guarded by your presence. Remove fear, banish dread, dissolve shame. Let my bed be a holy place of surrender. Let my sleep be worship. Let my rest be trust. Thank you for being near even in silence. Thank you for catching every sigh. Thank you for staying awake so that I may sleep. Thank you for tomorrow's mercies already waiting on the horizon. Tonight, I rest not because I have finished everything, but because you have promised to finish the good work you began. So I lay down now, lighter, calmer, safer, knowing that into your arms, Lord, I am always welcome. Keep me in your peace until morning comes. Lord, the night grows deeper, and still I find myself returning to you, because rest without you is only half rest. I may close my eyes, but my spirit stays restless until it leans into your arms. Tonight I give you not just the loud worries that demand attention, but the quiet undercurrents beneath them, the subtle insecurities, the quiet comparisons, the hidden fear of not being enough. You see them all, even the thoughts I never speak aloud, and you do not turn away. Instead, you invite me to bring them close, to lay them down, to trade their weight for your peace. Father, I confess how often I try to solve life on my own. I replay conversations. I plan every detail of tomorrow. I imagine 100 possible outcomes. It drains me before the day even arrives. Tonight, I choose a better way, to rest in the knowledge that you are already in my tomorrow. You have walked ahead, cleared paths, prepared mercies, placed provisions. I do not have to know every answer. I only have to trust the one who does. I lift before you those who are listening with me now. For the weary mother who feels she failed today, remind her that her love matters more than her perfection. For the father worried about providing, assure him that you are his source. For the one lying awake in pain, soothe every ache with your gentleness. For the one whose mind won't stop racing, quiet the noise with your whisper. For the one grieving fresh loss, hold them so close that grief does not feel like abandonment, but like sacred space to be healed. I pray for children tonight, that they would grow in safety, in joy, in wisdom, shielded by your hand. I pray for the elderly, that their nights would be filled with dignity, calm, and the comfort of your nearness. I pray for the lonely, that community, kindness, and companionship would surprise them in the days ahead. I pray for those who doubt, that their questions would not drive them away, but draw them nearer to truth. Lord, make my sleep holy tonight. Let it not just refresh my body, but restore my soul. May I wake lighter than I went to bed, not because my circumstances have changed, but because my perspective has taught me to rest as an act of faith, to lie down as a declaration that I believe you are God and I am safe. If my dreams come, let them be gentle. If I wake in the dark, meet me there without fear. If I stir with worry, let my very breath become prayer. Inhale, trust. Exhale, fear. Inhale, peace. Exhale, tension. Thank you for being the one who never leaves, the one who doesn't grow tired of my repeated returns, the one who holds me steady through both storms and silence. Thank you that as I surrender this day, you do not just take my burdens, but give me back peace. Thank you that morning mercies already wait, like sunlight rising beyond the horizon. So I close this part of prayer with gratitude. Lord, gratitude for your presence, for your patience, for your endless love. Into your arms once more I rest, certain that I am kept, certain that I am safe, certain that I am yours. Lord, I come again because my heart still has more to release, more to surrender, more to place into your hands. It is never wasted to linger in your presence, never wasted to repeat my prayers, never wasted to whisper again, "Here I am, Lord." Every time I draw near, you meet me with patience, not frustration, with love, not judgment. That alone is enough to calm me. Tonight I empty out the hidden corners of my soul, the unspoken regrets, the fragile hopes, the quiet disappointments. I bring them to you because you never call my burdens too small or my prayers too repetitive. You receive me again, and that truth steadies. Father, help me to see this night not as an interruption to my work, but as part of your design for renewal. Rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. Sleep is not wasted time, it is sacred time, where you restore what life has worn thin. Teach me to lay down not just my body, but my control, my striving, my endless planning. Teach me to trust that the world continues in your hands, even as I close my eyes. Teach me that I am not the one holding everything together. You are, and you do it with mercy that never runs out. I pray for those sharing this prayer tonight, for the one whose mind is clouded by anxiety. Lord, bring clarity like sunlight piercing fog. For the one weighed down by guilt, speak forgiveness until shame is silent. For the one feeling forgotten by friends or family, remind them that heaven remembers their name. For the one in pain, bring relief that is both physical and spiritual. For the one overwhelmed by decisions, whisper guidance in the quiet of their heart. For the one who is simply exhausted, give them rest that is not shallow but restorative, rest that reaches soul and body alike. Lord, stretch your hand over homes tonight. Where there is fear, replace it with peace. Where there is tension, soften it with love. Where there is grief, comfort with your presence. Where there is loneliness, bring the assurance of being known. Let walls, windows, and doorways be guarded by angels. Let every bed become a place of safety. Let every restless heart become calm in your care. Father, I thank you for small mercies that filled this day. The laughter that slipped in unexpectedly. The meal that strengthened me. The message that came at the right moment. The simple gift of breath, of movement, of light. Even when I missed them, they were there. Even when I forgot to notice, you kept giving. Tonight I pause to remember and to give thanks. Gratitude softens my heart. Gratitude reminds me that I am surrounded by more goodness than I often admit. Gratitude lifts my eyes from what is missing to what has been faithfully provided. As I prepare for sleep, I ask that you quiet my body as you quiet my soul. Slow my heartbeat, steady my breath, relax the tension that clings to me. Let my sleep be deeper than worry, stronger than fear, fuller than sorrow. And if I wake in the night, let it not be in panic, but in peace, knowing that even the midnight hours belong to you. Thank you, Lord, that my story is safe with you. Thank you that I do not walk alone. Thank you that nothing, neither fear nor failure, neither darkness nor silence, can separate me from your love. Tonight I surrender again. Into your arms I place myself fully. Into your arms I lay down this day. Into your arms I rest until morning comes. Lord, the night is long, but in your presence it does not feel empty. Every moment I spend here with you fills me with a quiet assurance that I am not alone, not forgotten, not left to carry the weight of this day by myself. I can sense the difference between a night where I try to handle my own thoughts and a night where I hand them over to you. The first is restless. The second is peaceful. And so again, I choose peace. Again, I choose surrender. Again, I choose to let go of the burdens that were never meant to follow me into sleep. I give you my fears about tomorrow, Lord. The meetings, the conversations, the unknowns. I admit that sometimes I imagine the worst before it even happens. But you remind me that tomorrow has not yet arrived, and when it does, you will already be there. I give you my regrets about today, the things I didn't say, the moments I mishandled, the kindness I withheld. You remind me that grace is bigger than failure, that forgiveness is stronger than shame, that your mercies are new every morning. I give you my hidden longings, the dreams I am afraid to speak, the hopes I keep tucked away in case they disappoint me. You remind me that you are not intimidated by my desires, and that when I delight in you, you shape my heart in ways I cannot yet see. Well, Father, I lift up every soul praying with me right now. For the one who feels unseen, let your presence be so real that loneliness loses its voice. For the one who feels anxious, let their heart be calmed as if wrapped in a soft blanket of peace. For the one grieving, hold them so close that their tears become prayers you treasure. For the one who feels ashamed, whisper forgiveness until their soul remembers it is free. For the one battling with thoughts of inadequacy, remind them that they are created in your image and carry worth beyond measure. Lord, protect our homes tonight. Let peace rule over every corner. Let fear be driven out. Let love fill the rooms. Guard our families, near and far. Guard those we love but cannot reach. Guard even the stranger who does not yet know to call on your name, because your mercy stretches wider than we imagine. Let every door be sealed with safety, every window with calm, every bed with rest. Thank you for listening, Lord. Thank you for being the God who welcomes me back again and again, no matter how many times I repeat the same prayers. Thank you for not growing weary of my weakness. Thank you for holding me steady when I cannot hold myself. Thank you that this night is not wasted, but holy, because it is spent in your presence. So I rest now, Lord, not in my strength but in yours, not in my achievements but in your love, not in my certainty but in your faithfulness. Into your arms once more I surrender this night and trust that morning will rise with fresh mercy waiting for me. Lord, I return again because my soul is not finished releasing. I feel how many layers of worry I've built up over the day and how each prayer gently removes one more. By the time the morning comes, I long to be light again, free from the unnecessary burdens I so often cling to. Tonight I place them one by one into your hands. The words I regret, the choices I overthought, the silence I mistook for failure, the noise I confused with importance. You see through all of it with clarity and love, and you are not surprised by my weakness. Instead, you welcome me as I am, giving me space to breathe, reminding me that I am safe to be human in the presence of a God who never wavers. Father, I ask you to reshape the way I see rest. Teach me that rest is not avoidance, but trust, not weakness, but wisdom. Rest is declaring that you, and not my effort, hold the world together. When I release control, I am not giving up. I am giving in to the truth that I was never meant to carry everything. Tonight, I want that truth to sink deeper than my thoughts and into my bones, so that even as I sleep, my body learns the rhythm of grace. I bring before you the ones praying with me now, each one carrying their own story. For the one who feels abandoned, let them sense your nearness in the quiet. For the one who feels ashamed, cover them with forgiveness that silences every accusing voice. For the one overwhelmed by responsibility, lighten their load and remind them that you are their strength. For the one afraid of tomorrow, wrap them in courage that outlasts the night. For the one grieving, let comfort arrive like a steady hand on their shoulder. For the one restless, let calm descend like a gentle rain until they are able to sleep. I pray for children who close their eyes tonight. Guard their innocence, protect their dreams, surround them with joy. I pray for the elderly. Let their memories bring peace instead of pain, and let their nights be gentle. I pray for families. Where there is conflict, let there be reconciliation. Where there is distance, let there be connection. I pray for those alone. Remind them they are never truly alone when you are with them. Lord, quiet my body and mind now. Settle my breathing into the rhythm of your peace. Let my thoughts slow like a river after the storm. Let my spirit stretch out in your presence like a child unafraid in the arms of a parent. Protect my home from fear, from disturbance, from harm. Place angels at the corners, peace at the doorways, and love at the center. Let the night pass in safety and the morning arrive with mercy, new and unexhausted. Thank you for being patient with me, for letting me return again and again for never closing your ears to my voice. Thank you for reminding me that even when I am weak, you are strong. Even when I feel lost, you are near. Even when I am restless, you are my rest. Tonight, I surrender again. Into your arms, Lord, I give this night, this heart, this life. Keep me as I sleep, and let me rise with hope. Lord, the night still stretches on, and in its quiet, I realize how deeply I need these repeated moments of surrender. Each prayer has peeled away a layer of weight, and still I find more to release. Tonight I am learning that rest is not only about lying down. It is about trusting enough to let go. My body can be still while my mind still runs, but my spirit finds calm only when it leans fully into you. And so once more I turn my whole self toward you, the tired thoughts, the restless feelings, the fragile hope that longs to grow stronger. Father, I surrender to you the words I never said today, the apologies I wanted to speak but didn't, the encouragements I kept to myself, the fears that silenced me. You know every corner of my heart and every silence that speaks louder than words. Cover me in grace where I failed, and let tomorrow be another chance to choose better. I surrender to you the distractions that pulled me away from what matters, the comparisons that stole my joy, the doubts that made me small. Teach me that none of these things define me. What defines me is your love, the same love that stretched over creation, the same love that carried me through this day, the same love that will guard me tonight. Lord, I pray for those lying awake with me in this prayer. For the one whose heart is heavy with grief, hold them so gently that they feel no shame for their tears. For the one whose mind races with plans, remind them that not every problem needs solving before sleep. For the one who feels isolated, let them sense your presence filling the room. For the one who feels too broken to begin again, show them that healing is not only possible, but already in motion. For the one holding resentment, soften their heart so that forgiveness can begin. For the one longing for peace in their family, plant seeds of reconciliation even now in the silence. I lift up the children of this world. Lord, guard their dreams, surround their innocence, let their sleep be deep and their futures bright. I lift up the elderly, grant them dignity, gentleness, and calm nights where they are comforted by your nearness. I lift up parents, renew their strength as they carry heavy responsibilities. I lift up workers and leaders, remind them that their worth is not in their title, but in being your beloved. I lift up the lonely, the anxious, the sick, the doubting. Meet each one with exactly the mercy they need tonight. Father, let my sleep be more than rest for the body. Let it be rest for the soul. May the tension in my chest dissolve. May my breath fall into steady rhythm. May my thoughts unclench one by one until peace is the only voice left. Let my dreams be gentle, my mind be calm, my home be safe. Place angels at the corners of my room, peace at my doorway, and your love at the very center of where I lay my head. Thank you for receiving every prayer, even when my words feel weak. Thank you for being faithful when I am forgetful. Thank you for being near when I feel far. Tonight I rest not because everything is perfect, but because you. Tonight I sleep, not because I earn peace, but because you give it freely. Tonight I surrender, not because I have no choice, but because I trust the one who holds into your arms again, Lord. I place this night. Hold me until morning and let me rise renewed. Lord, I return once more, because every prayer feels like another deep breath, another unclenching of the soul, another step closer to true rest. Tonight has become a journey of letting go layer by layer, and I know you are walking with me through every part of it. The world outside is quiet, but inside I still feel small ripples of unrest, thoughts that linger, emotions that resist silence, memories that surface when the lights go out. Yet even these I place before you. I do not need to hide them, because you already see them, and still you call me beloved. Father, I surrender the weight of responsibility that I tried to carry on my own today. The expectations, the tasks unfinished, the pressure to prove myself, all of it I set at your feet. Teach me to rest without guilt, to understand the stepping back does not mean I am failing, but that I am trusting. Let my rest be worship, declaring that you are God and I am not. Remind me that the universe continues in your hands while I sleep, and that my worth does not rise or fall with productivity. Lord, I bring to you the hearts of those praying alongside me now. For the one whose body aches from illness, bring healing and ease. For the one crushed by loneliness, let your nearness become tangible. For the one afraid of tomorrow, quiet their fears with the truth that you are already there. For the one grieving, hold them through the night and remind them that sorrow may last for a season, but joy will return. For the one ashamed of their past, whisper mercy into the deepest part of their being until freedom feels possible. I also pray for families tonight. Where there is tension, replace it with gentleness. Where there is silence, open doors for reconnection. Where there is brokenness, let healing begin. For children, keep their innocence safe and their dreams bright. For parents, renew their strength and patience. For grandparents, surround them with dignity and peace. For those without family nearby, remind them that your love creates a family that is wider than blood, a belonging that cannot be taken away. Father, settle my spirit now. Let my breath slow, my thoughts soften, my body release its tension. Place your peace like a blanket over my home. Guard every door and window, every heart under this roof. Let no fear or harm draw near. Let angels stand watch through the night. May this space be holy ground, filled with calm and protection. Thank you, Lord, for every unseen mercy today, the accidents avoided, the temptations resisted, the provisions given without me noticing. Thank you for the beauty that broke through in small ways. The smile of a stranger, the warmth of sunlight, the kindness of a friend. Thank you that even when I rushed past, you still remained present. Tonight I choose to notice. Tonight I choose to give thanks. So now, Lord, I surrender yet again. Not halfway, not holding back, but fully. Into your arms I release the weight of this day. Into your care I place my tomorrow. Into your love I lay my very self. Let me sleep deeply, wake gently, and rise renewed in your mercy. Lord, I settle into this prayer once again, because I know rest comes not only to the body, but also to the spirit when I linger with you. The longer I remain here, the more I feel the heavy noise of the day begin to fade. Tonight I want nothing more than to be quiet in your presence, to breathe without hurry, to trust without fear. My heart still carries traces of tension, but I believe that even these final fragments can be soothed by your love. Father, I surrender the unspoken things, the disappointments I tried to ignore, the frustrations I buried, the questions I was too afraid to ask. I lay them out honestly before you, because you are not startled by my weakness or confused by my uncertainty. You are the God who understands me completely, who loves me fully, who stays close even when I struggle to stay close to you. Let tonight be the night I finally unclench what I've been holding on to too tightly. I pray now for those who join me in this prayer. For the one lying awake with shame heavy on their heart, cover them with the truth of forgiveness. For the one restless with anxiety, steady their breath and quiet their mind. For the one who feels unseen, surround them with the undeniable awareness that you are near. For the one grieving, hold them gently so they know they are not alone. For the one weighed down by responsibilities, remind them that they are not defined by performance, but by love. Lord, I also lift up families everywhere. Heal what is fractured, soften what is hardened, restore what has been lost. For children, let innocence be protected. For parents, let wisdom be given. For elders, let peace be multiplied. For those with no family, let community find them in unexpected ways. Let every home tonight be wrapped in your peace, whether filled with people or silent in solitude. As for me, Lord, I ask that my mind be stilled. Let every restless corner be filled with quiet. Let every thought that spirals be redirected toward your promises. Let my heart settle into the rhythm of trust. I want my sleep to be more than an escape. I want it to be renewal. I want to rise tomorrow lighter, calmer, anchored in hope. Guard this room with your presence. Place angels near my bed. Let nothing disturb the rest. You're preparing for me. Thank you, Father, for the small graces of today, the laughter that surprised me, the strength that held me up, the kindness I received. Thank you that even when I felt rushed, you were patient. Even when I felt weak, you remained strong. Even when I doubted, you were steady. I am grateful that your love does not rise and fall with my moods, but stays constant like the stars above me tonight. So now, Lord, I surrender all again. Into your arms, I place my heart, my home, my loved ones, my future. Into your peace I lay down my soul. Into your love I rest until morning breaks with mercy, new once more. Lord, I come again, not because you need my words repeated, but because my heart needs to linger in your presence. Every return to you reminds me that prayer is not about performance, it is about connection. And so I lean closer, whispering what remains unsaid, surrendering what still clings to me, releasing the remnants of this day that I have not yet placed fully into your hands. I don't want to carry fragments of unrest into tomorrow. I want to lay them all down here, now, and find my peace in you alone. Father, I give you the hidden fatigue I carry, the kind no one notices because I smile through it, the kind that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying too much inside. I bring it to you, and I ask, replace it with rest deeper than the body, rest that seeps into the soul. I give you the fears that linger on the edges of my mind, whispering about what might go wrong. Teach me that fear does not tell the truth, but that your voice always does. I give you the hopes I hesitate to name, worried that if I say them out loud, they may disappoint me. But you are not afraid of my hopes. You welcome them, you refine them, you hold them safe. Lord, I pray for those listening and praying along with me. For the one who lies awake in a hospital bed, bring healing and peace. For the one separated from family, surround them with the comfort of belonging. For the one weighed down by regret, remind them that forgiveness is stronger than failure. For the one waiting for an answer, grant them patience to rest while they wait. For the one struggling to forgive another, soften their heart and remind them that forgiveness frees the forgiver too. I lift to you, Father, the caregivers and the exhausted, the parents awake with children, the workers pulling long hours, the ones who feel unseen while they give so much. Let them know tonight that their efforts are not wasted. Let them feel valued by you, even if unrecognized by others. I lift the lonely, asking that you would be closer than their own breath. I lift the grieving, asking that you would hold them through the waves of pain. I lift the anxious, asking that you would quiet the storm inside. Lord, steady my thoughts now. Let every restless corner be filled with calm. Let my breath slow until trust becomes its rhythm. Let my body relax into the safety of your care. Let my sleep be not shallow but renewing, not fragile but strong, not troubled but peaceful. Guard this home through the night. Let angels stand at its corners. Let no fear cross its threshold. Let your love dwell in every room. Thank you for the blessings of today, even the small ones I almost missed. Thank you for strength that came when I needed it most. Thank you for patience that held me steady. Thank you for reminders of beauty, for kindnesses received and give. Thank you for grace that followed me in every hour, even when I was too distracted to notice. And thank you most of all that I never walked alone, not for a single moment. So now I surrender again, fully and without reserve. Into your arms I place my heart, my loved ones, my worries, my hopes. Into your peace I lay down, into your mercy I rest, until morning comes with new light and new grace. Amen.